In terms of coming up back up to the top, it's not going to happen. If Andy loses, he becomes a gatekeeper. If Ortiz loses, he goes to retirement. It's that simple. Hello, HTV boxing fans. It is fight week. It is the weekend of the heavyweights as American Andy Ruiz Jr. takes on Cuban Luiz Ortiz this Sunday at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. Main event will begin at approximately 12 a.m. Eastern on Fox Sports pay-per-view. Event is promoted by TBD Promotions and powered by Premier Boxing Champions. In this short video, I'll discuss the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters, what I expect they should be bringing in, and of course, my prediction. This is Talking Boxing. Before I go on, please don't forget to leave your prediction below in the comment section. Like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if this is your first time joining us. So let's talk briefly about Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. The American is coming off just one win and one fight with Chris Arreola since he fought Anthony Joshua in December of 2019, which he lost. Prior to that, he had beaten AJ the same year in June to win the IBF, IBO, WBA, and WBO heavyweight titles. The Destroyer is coming in with a record of 34 wins, 2 losses, 22 of the wins by way of knockout. What are his strengths? He's got great combinations for a heavyweight. He can be explosive with them whenever he wants. He's also a technical fighter and targets the body very well, and he should be able to bring that this weekend. He's also a fast fighter for a heavyweight and can certainly, compared to Ortiz, putting together a lot of, again, explosions, but very fast. What are his weaknesses? He lacks consistency in his performance, and then there has been rumors about indiscipline during his training. He's apparently coming in at a weight of 270 pounds. That's a lot of weight, but again, it's heavyweight. Let's talk briefly about Luiz King Kong Ortiz. The Cuban is coming in with 2 wins with Alexander Flores and Charles Martin in 2020 and 2022 respectively. Prior to that, he lost to Deontay Wilder in November of 2019 for the WBC heavyweight title. The 43-year-old is coming in with a record of 33 wins, 2 losses, and 28 by way of knockout. What are his strengths? The southpaw is a warrior and a tough fighter. He does not back down easily, and he's always looking and very active to fight. He's a much more skilled fighter compared to Andy Ruiz and has better jabs that he can definitely use to keep Ruiz at bay. What are his weaknesses? I think age is not on his side. This was very visible in his last fight against Charles Martin, and his movement can also be suspect. Now to my thoughts on this fight and the strategies I expect the boxers to be going in with. This is going to be an interesting fight, which is almost what it is usually with heavyweights. First, let's talk about what this means to any of them if they lose. It's simple. There are more younger heavyweights in the pipeline. Talk about Jared Anderson, whom I just last saw this weekend, was looking very good. And so therefore, if any one of these lose, this is what's going to happen. In terms of coming up back up to the top, it's not going to happen. If Andy loses, he becomes a gatekeeper. If Ortiz loses, he goes to retirement. It's that simple. I expect Ruiz to come into this fight with the mindset of picking out Ortiz apart. But Ruiz has not been consistent, as I had said earlier, in terms of his weakness. Sometimes it's hard to tell what he's bringing in with. One other challenge that I see Andy Ruiz coming in with is that I've not really seen him fight a southpaw. And so that may be a challenge for him fighting Ortiz, who is a southpaw. Ortiz, on the other hand, I expect him to make use of his right jabs, but occasionally should announce his presence with the left. He should make sure that Ruiz fears that left hand of his whenever it comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if Ortiz tried to go for the knockout or the knockdown, and he may be successful. When you compare their knockout rate, he has a better rate in terms of knockout compared to Andy Ruiz Jr. Now to my prediction, this is going to be an Andy Ruiz Jr. night. It's that simple, based on several factors, but most importantly, age. Ortiz is essentially done at 43-year-old. In heavyweight, I mean, yeah, we've heard about other boxers come back and win in the past, but at 43, I think age is going to be his biggest disadvantage, and I expect Andy Ruiz Jr. to win this probably by around 9 or around 10 knockout, and that is my prediction. And this is Talking Boxing.